Have you ever felt like life is testing you over and over with no sign of relief? What if I told you the challenges you face are shaping you into someone unbreakable? What if I told you that even in your darkest moments, the seeds of hope and greatness are quietly growing within you? Emma felt like she was drowning. Work was a constant battle, her relationships felt strained, and no matter how hard she tried, life just kept throwing more at her. She was exhausted, stuck in an endless loop of stress and self doubt. One evening, after yet another failed attempt to finish a project on time, Emma wandered into a park near her apartment. At the far end, she noticed an ancient olive tree surrounded by a few benches. It was gnarled and scarred, yet somehow it stood tall and proud. As she sat down, an elderly man with kind eyes and a peaceful aura approached. He carried a staff and wore simple robes, looking like a character out of another time. He smiled and said, "The tree called you here, didn't it?" Emma laughed nervously. "It's just a tree," she said. The man shook his head. "No, it's a teacher, and it can help you if you are willing to listen." The man sat beside her and began his tale. Long ago, a young man named Arian came to a wise monk who lived in an olive grove. Arian was lost, just as you feel now. He had failed in his work, his friendships were falling apart, and he felt unworthy of anything good. The monk took Arian to the oldest tree in the grove and said, "This tree has lived through centuries of storms, droughts, and fire. It should have fallen long ago, but it stands tall. Do you know why?" Arian shook his head. The monk smiled. "The olive tree doesn't fight the storms, it bends with them. It doesn't curse the rocky soil, it uses it to grow deeper roots. And when its branches are scarred, it turns those scars into strength." He handed Arian 3 objects: a stone, a twig, and a key. "These are your puzzle pieces. To understand the tree's lesson, you must solve this puzzle." The monk placed the stone in Arian's hand and asked, "What do you carry that you don't need?" Arian thought for a moment. "I carry the fear of what others think of me. It's heavy and it stops me from being who I am." The monk nodded. "Place the stone at the tree's roots and let it go." Arian did as he was told, feeling a small weight lift from his heart. The monk handed him the twig and asked, "What do you fear will break you?" Arian held the twig, feeling how fragile it was. He said, "I fear failure. Every mistake feels like it will destroy me." The monk bent the twig slightly, showing how it flexed without snapping. "You are not as fragile as you think. Like this twig, you can bend without breaking. Your failures are not the end, they are your teachers." Arian placed the twig at the base of this tree and felt a bit stronger. Finally, the monk gave him the key. "What have you locked away that could set you free?" Arian stared at the key and thought of his love for music, something he had abandoned long ago because he believed it wasn't important. "I have locked away my passion," he admitted. The monk smiled. "Unlock it. It's the gift that will keep you alive." Arian placed the key beside the other items, and the olive tree seemed to shimmer in the moonlight. "You see," the monk said, "you are like this tree. You are not broken, you are growing. Let go of what weighs you down, trust that you will bend without breaking, and embrace the gifts you have hidden. You are going to be okay." As the old man finished his story, Emma felt tears streaming down her face. She thought about her own life and realized how much she was carrying: expectations, fears, and doubts. She whispered, "I don't have to carry all of this, do I?" The man smiled. "No, you don't. You are like the olive tree. You may be scarred, but you are strong. You may feel fragile, but you can endure. And within you is a gift you have forgotten. Find it, and you will thrive." The man stood and began to walk away. Emma called after him, "Wait, what's your name?" He turned back, his eyes twinkling. just someone who listens to the trees. Emma sat by the olive tree for a long time that night, thinking about the monk's story. She didn't have all the answers yet, but for the first time in a long time, she believed she was going to be okay. Life can feel overwhelming, but remember, you are stronger than you think. Let go of what you don't need. Embrace the lessons in your challenges and unlock the gifts you have hidden. You are going to be okay.